Welcome back to another episode. Share, like, and subscribe for videos like these.
You're not weird that they try to scrap all of these things off the internet? Like, these weird people in Hollywood, bro, like, there needs to be an expose on all these people. Will Smith, and the way he would just violate his son in public interviews was the most disturbing thing to see. He would literally, while Jaden Smith is resisting, he would grab him still by the face and kiss him on the lips on numerous occasions on live television. No one said anything because you gotta understand that these things would take place in Hollywood. No one batted an eye in the early 2000s, in the mid 2000s, the early 2010s. No one said anything. There's been so many times where Jaden Smith has looked ultra uncomfortable around his father, Will Smith. And perhaps that's why Jaden Smith and Willow had weird, like, phases in their life that showed that they had been through something. We know how weird they are in Hollywood, and we already know how weird Will Smith is. Even more than that, do y'all remember when Jaden Smith was a lot younger and they were doing some interview, and then Jaden Smith had the mic and he was just like, yeah, my dad just randomly would get naked in front of me. And Jada started laughing really loud to distract everybody. He was like, oh, Will Smith crazy, Will's crazy, and didn't let him continue talking. This man is weird. No matter how good of an actor he is, Will Smith is weird, because this is not the only thing that has come out about him, but it's just even weirder. Like even if he didn't do anything to him behind closed doors, you are literally violating him in public. He went through what he went through and why him and Justin Bieber were so close. You pick up what I'm putting down?
Well, he's saying his facts, right? That is strange that he would kiss him on the mouth, on the lips. I would kiss my father, but I would kiss my father on the cheek. But not for nothing, that whole family is kind of strange with everything that's been going on over the years with them.
I would never unalive myself, and I got some pretty insane stuff to show you here. Okay, we've been talking a lot about the pineal gland. The pineal gland, goddammit. Adrenochrome. Frazzle drip. Hillary Clinton, all that weird. Tom at Pizza. You ever seen that guy's Instagram account? It's weird. Forget all that for a second, because look what I found. I dug this up using Archive, the Wayback Machine. And it's from a Reddit post from years ago. It is supposedly, allegedly, in the hallways of the Pfizer building in Michigan. This was in Portage, Michigan in the 1950s. This picture here was on the wall outside the hallway in the cafeteria. Allegedly. What's that say there? Grinding adrenal cortex glands. That's interesting.
So what does that mean? They've been feeding us for years now? Back since the 50s? Maybe before that?
You'd think if you order scallops, you'd get just that, scallops, right? Not always. We gathered samples of scallops from restaurants across the USA. Here at Fish House, a popular fish market in New York City, scallops are on prominent display. We ordered fried scallops. Then we sent them to Applied Food Technologies in Florida, where Molly Sims and her colleagues specialize in seafood DNA analysis. Guess what? The lab found there wasn't any scallop in the scallop.
Best guess to what they were is probably some sort of surimi type product.
Surimi? What the heck is that?
That is the surimi fish paste. So it's a bunch of goo that's shaped like a scallop to fool you.
This is fish goo.
Fish goo.
He says, unlike natural scallops, surimi is a less healthy paste, typically made up of cheap fish like pollock or...
What are they doing to us? Why are they feeding us crap? Feeding us? What's up with the government? How deep is this rabbit hole on food, and how many years has this been going on? Has this been going on since the 50s also? Maybe.
लाइनमैन राम सिंह देखिए कैसे अपने जान जोखिम में डालकर कार्य कर रहे हैं। देखिए किस तरह से अपना तजुर्बा एक्सपीरियंस देखिए इनका तजुर्बा चलती हुई लाइन में। Ya atraparon. Ya llevaba varias noches en las casas.
Meu Deus do céu, olha o tamanho desse homem.
Ele é enorme. Tá quebrando tudo.
Tu já chamou a polícia?
This is the restroom and
Portugal. Oh my God. I just locked the door and locked everyone out because I don't do communal bathrooms, but this is the bathroom.
Actually, a draconian from Alpha Draconis, and your government is actually letting AI exist so that it would be undistinguishable from existence and what's actually real. So you might be watching this and think to yourself, that's got to be AI. There's no way. But what if it's not? Like, really? What if it's really not?
Zelensky has been caught in the Epstein files, and Epstein visited him multiple times. In emails between Epstein and a Rothschild family member, they discussed Ukraine. And in 2014, they talked about the upheaval in Ukraine when the US overthrew their government. And in February of 2019, Epstein stayed in the capital of Ukraine a month before Zelensky was elected. And this is Zelensky telling the Rothschild, by the way, I'm visiting Zelensky this Thursday, 3 months after Zelensky was elected. And here, this message to Epstein: we should go to Russia and meet my friend Ilya. He's a member of the parliament and the main organizer of the uprising against Putin. He might replace Putin and become president himself. Any ideas how to help him? Epstein visited Zelensky multiple times and was chatting with his friends on how to overthrow Putin in Russia. When Vladimir Putin says that Russia is battling Satanism in Ukraine, you have to believe it.
So did you guys know that the CIA had an operation back in the 70s to overthrow Castro? But when you guys hear what they were going to do to overthrow Fidel Castro, you are going to be astonished. So the CIA was going to say that they were going to make Jesus appear in the skies of Havana. That was their plan, to make Jesus hologram-like appear in the skies of Havana in Cuba, something like this possibly, to make the Cubans overthrow Fidel Castro, to put it in their mind that they need to overthrow Fidel Castro. They were going to use that type of sorcery and witchcraft and deception in the 70s, which is the biggest part here. In the 70s, mind you, if they had the technology then to pull something off like that, what makes you think they don't have something even greater now, 55 years later, 56 years later? This world is a huge stage. It's like I don't think people understand that this whole world is just a big stage. It's all it is. We are all side characters watching it all play out and just sometimes be in the audience. And this is their game. This is their show. They're making us participate.
He's absolutely correct. If they had this technology in the 70s, what do they have now? And if they was willing to do this back then, what other stunts have they done and gotten away with it?
We are the sum total of 22 different extraterrestrial races. Extraterrestrial races that have been here for hundreds of thousands of years, who have interbred with humanity and left offspring. Now, that's the physical. The spiritual aspect of who we are is even more enlightening and even more amazing. It's called the Blue Brain Project in Switzerland. They have combined Blue Brain Project. They have combined many different types of technologies, and what they have done is they have essentially created a type of MRI that can scan the entire brain. And I mean all of the intricate structures of the brain itself. What they have discovered is that some of us have in our brains 4th, 5th, 6th dimensional structures already in our brain. Now think about that. There are other people that they have done the same thing with that have 7, 8, 9 dimensional structures in their brain. Some have 10 and 11 dimensional structures already in your brain. Now you're a 3rd density physicality, and yet in your brain you have multiple dimensional structures. Now, another best kept secret is that many children are being born with a 3rd strand of DNA. Another incredible secret is that many people who have had near-death experiences are coming back, and when they come back, they have 3, 4, and 5 strands.
Something very off about the Super Bowl logo, because when you look at the colors, what do you notice about the colors of this Super Bowl logo or the superb owl? The colors are all bright, right? But what if I told you there is a deeper meaning to this logo? Because when you look at the logo, it eerily resembles the emergency broadcasting system. Now, am I saying that anything is going to happen at the Superb Owl? No, I am not saying that at all. But don't you find this to be a little suspicious? I know I can't be the only one to find this to be a little bizarre. I'm not claiming that anything is going to happen at the Superb Owl, don't get me wrong, but I'm just pointing out how bizarre this truly is. Regardless, the NFL and all sports are scripted and rigged, and people really need to wake up and realize that they do rituals.
They always put it right in your face. Don't you guys know what this actually was? And yeah, I'm blocking out some of it just because how vulgar it was. Just wait until I tell you what you actually just saw. So the entire Grammys was a homage to that island guy. Not just him, but the system they all created. And don't be naive, he's still here. I'll show you in a minute. She's wearing a human skin clothing. Do you see the latches on the side? That's exactly what this is supposed to be. Hadn't y'all seen the parties? Completely unrelated, I wonder if any of them have shoes back there. Justin Bieber performing in his underwear. You think that's an accident? Do you not understand what this is? The whole time, people have idolized these celebrities. They have never understood that you are watching people who are literally being tortured. It's sick amusement for the elite, all being in the stage, watching the people on stage who have terrible things happen to them. And the cycle goes on and on. That's why Jay-Z left. And speaking of celebrities, before we talk about the Island Man, we've seen a bunch of exposing allegedly done by Nicki Minaj. But my thing is why they keep saying, oh, the devilish Democrats and not the whole elite system. It's like when the Kirk thing happened, everyone's like, oh, those dirty people on the left. Last I checked, all left and right were all in the files, weren't they? And now we get to this Island Man. There's been so many sightings of him since he passed away. Not to mention a 4chan writer literally came out of nowhere and said that he was positive that he had gotten switched with someone else the day before he passed away. Not to mention the picture evidence we have. And then don't even get me started on the autopsy. But there's no actual way he got switched, right? Even the files themselves prove they're not being truthful with us. It says that they didn't think he unalived himself. But remember what I just said about the autopsy and the pictures of him being around still? Then we get into the obvious evidence that he started Bitcoin and in a certain country bought like 70% supply years ago. All the way to this stuff. Look, this is not left or right. This is all politicians and all powerful people on this earth know him. This is bigger than you can imagine. And the Grammy was a great celebration in his honor. Like when Lady Gaga came out and started doing witchcraft in front of everybody. I won't even play the video. Don't forget this one thing. There's a reason for everything. By the way, completely unrelated. You remember when California burnt down and of course we had Tom Hanks in those documents and his house and a whole bunch of houses were burnt down. Unrelated, all the things in the house are gone now. Just like Diddy when he knew they were coming beforehand. People have got to wake up. I don't know if Nicki's being genuine, but what I can tell you, this is certainly not the left. It's all of them.
These videos are for entertainment and education. Real or fake, fact or fiction, you decide. Let me know in the comment section what you think about these videos. I'd like to thank you for watching. Until next time, this is CYPTV, and I'm out.